Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Unraveled. Today we're going to be looking at this interesting post about how Meta is planning to add AI generated users to Instagram and Facebook. And we're just going to delve into a little bit about what this means for us, what that means for the users of the platform, and the idea that some of the people that we're going to be following or the responses that we're getting and a lot of our online content and reach, part of that is going to be heavily AI generated. Yeah, I saw this circling 2 days ago. I've seen it on a few other subreddits as well, and I can imagine it's just, it's big news. And this is because we are already aware that there's bots and such on social media. We saw that with the whole X thing that happened when Elon Musk took over Twitter. But what's fascinating about this story is the fact that Meta's openly come out and say, look, we're going to be bringing this in. And obviously it's causing a lot of controversy, it's causing a lot of fear, and it's making people a little bit unsure about how they're going to be using these platforms and how it's going to directly affect the platforms. Now we will go and look at the original post as to where this came from, the original source. Let's take a look at some comments, and the first comment, one of the top comments, is the whole idea that they're speeding along the dead internet theory. Now, if you don't know what the dead internet theory is, you can probably find a YouTube video on it. But basically, in layman's terms, it's just the idea that most of the internet is made up of robots, that the government is using this as a means for them to be able to push certain political views, certain political movements, and that basically it's all, most of the internet is dead, it's not real. Now, obviously, you and I are real, and we have friends that are on social media and we know they're real. But when we see these videos that are getting millions or sometimes billions of views or plays, or billions of interactions, or just really excessive and large amounts of interaction, the dead internet theory argues that most of that is bots and most of that is just not legitimate human interaction but machines. And that's what's helping, if it is a matter of government control and such, that's what's helping them to drive certain agendas and push certain things through the algorithm because it's all programmed. So this person's arguing that they're just speeding along the whole dead internet theory, and I do understand that and why people may think that, because if Meta's saying, if they're confirming to add tons of AI generated users, then I guess they are supporting that theory. One thing that is also playing into as well is how content's going to be received and then produced because of this AI database, because of this AI customer base, so to speak. What do I mean by that? What I'm trying to say is that we're already seeing how AI is affecting how businesses and individuals create content. And we're seeing that through things like GEO, which is Generative Engine Optimization. I'm about to get really nerdy right now, so if you're not concentrating, definitely concentrate or skip to this time link if you want to get through this. But my point is, in marketing, we have this thing called search engine optimization. And this is when we optimize our content on our website in order to make sure that it's ranked higher on search engines such as Google. So we'll make sure that it has certain keywords. We'll make sure that it talks on certain comments. We'll make sure that it answers certain questions. And we'll include that within our content on the website, maybe on a blog or on some kind of post somewhere on the website, so that we rank higher when certain terms are searched for, etc. That's search engine optimization. But since the rise of AI, there's something called generative engine optimization, which is the idea that we're now creating content that generative AI can push forward. So let me show you what I mean. For example, if I type in SEO and I click enter, you'll see that this is just search engine optimization, and you'll see some things pop up. You see the sponsored ads first, of course. Why? Because they're paid for. And then you see what we call organic, which is this. What is SEO? Now, this company has a blog on their page answering that exact question. So they're going to rank higher. But what you'll find is that things like GEO, actually, we'll Google something else. Let's Google how to travel the world. So what Google's pushing is their AI generative engine optimization. So AI overview. This never used to be here. In 2023, this wasn't here. It was only 2024 that they introduced Gemini and using AI. And you'll see that this ranks now higher than even paid for sponsors. So why is this important? This is important because you can already see how people are creating content for AI. That means we're now serving the bots in a way. Isn't that weird? That's what I find quite interesting about it, is the fact that we're now going out of our way to create content so that the bots are happy with it. When whoever was writing all of this, it gives you the link to the website, right? It gives you the full link as to where it's getting the information from. But I'm saying that people are now going out their way to create content which is designed so that AI can deliver it. If we bring this back full circle to the meta plans, imagine the type of content we're going to be creating now, knowing that we need AI to be the ones liking it, knowing that we need AI to be the ones commenting on it, knowing that we need AI to be the ones sharing and giving us the views. It's going to create a really big twist in how we perceive social media and how we output content. And it's kind of ironic as well, because remember, social media was designed to connect people with people, and it still does. That's not the problem. The problem is now we're coming to another barrier, a bigger barrier of having to get through these robots now in order to get to the person. So if there's a piece of information that I want to share, and I have to think about the algorithm and these bots within it and how that's going to perceive it, and then it's going to go through. So it's like a middleman has been introduced into everyone's social media life. And this middleman can say, okay, that can go through, this can't go through. And when that's controlled at a centralized level, when that's controlled, on a hierarchy level, that means that there's ways that they can shift movements and such. Exactly what I was saying about how the government, with the dead internet theory, and how the government may want to use that to their advantage, and how it can get intertwined with just politics in general. But let's take a look at some more comments, see what people are thinking about it. I did see an interesting comment. I did like this comment. At this point, there is no way of verifying if a stranger on the internet is real or not. All the commenters here might be bots. OP might be a bot. Even I might be a bot, but who knows? And yeah, that is worrying. And I think a lot of people are unsettled by that. I'm not too unsettled I'm unsettled more about comments. I'd say that's creepy, knowing that you're seeing these really realistic, human-like comments on content. And like you said, he might even be a bot. And we just don't know that. And I guess there's almost an acceptance that you need to have that what we're reading may not be real. But again, it's the fact that Facebook is openly coming and saying, look, we're doing this. And it'll just make things a lot more suspect when we are on these platforms. So here's the original source of the post that I found on Reddit from the Financial Times. And here there's a lot more detail and information as to what it is they're doing and how they plan to implement it. So the vice president of generative AI at Meta, we expect these AIs to actually over time exist on our platforms kind of in the same way that accounts do. They'll have bios and profile pictures and be able to generate and share content powered by AI on the platform. That's where we'll see all of this going. Hayes said that priority for Meta over the next 2 years was to make its apps more entertaining and engaging. The fact that these AI accounts that are going to be getting created can post content and such. One of the problems that I think is definitely going to arise from this is the fact that having these bots, we're so used to seeing people, but knowing that we might now start following AI accounts, and then we start seeing content from the AI, because we can't root who or what this AI is necessarily directly connected to. This is where I guess it becomes dangerous, because that AI can generate anything. And if we don't know where the AI is drawing its information from, it just makes it, again, unsettling. And I can also imagine that Meta will prioritize AI content. So now we're going to have people, real humans like you and I, competing directly against AI accounts to try and get our content out to our followers and such, because there's going to be way more competition. This is advantageous to them, obviously, because when it comes to advertising, it means that companies will have to now pay more if they want to reach real people. It's creating a market, because now there's going to be a market of AI and a market of humans. And now when a business comes along to this market, and they want to advertise to the human beings, they now have to pay more. Why? Because they have all these AI bots that are getting in the way. So I can see how Meta is going to take advantage of this, as always. The push comes as social media companies have been racing to release the latest generative AI technology into products as a way of attracting new users and more content to their platform. So they're doing it as a way to keep people engaged and wanting to be on the platform. Well, maybe just me at this age, me already being on Facebook and me already being on Instagram and whatever, it's like they don't need me. They're probably not looking for me. They probably don't care for me because I'm already on their platform. But I guess for the younger demographic and those that are growing up and now coming into social media, I guess they need to have something to offer that's more than just what's already there. And I guess that's where AI influencers come and play a role. Let's say you're on YouTube and you're watching an AI influencer. You get so used to seeing this influencer, you want to follow them. Where do you follow them? Because it's AI. Facebook and Meta and Instagram. So they're now allowing a platform for AI influencers to exist in the real world more so. And I have to say real world because they don't. I hope that makes sense. Let me try and say that one more time. Let's say I am a 10-year-old young boy. I use TikTok or I use YouTube. I come across an AI YouTube channel. Maybe it teaches me about cars. It's just an AI person talking about cars, showing me cars, this, that, and whatever. I enjoy following this person, but I can only follow them on YouTube currently. Meta comes along and says, hey, you can create your AI person on our platform. They can post, they can act as a normal account, and you can bring your followers over here. And so now, me as a 10-year-old boy who likes cars and likes this one creator or AI creator, I now go and follow them on Instagram. So seeing that customer journey, it makes sense. But again, the root of it, that's where it's dangerous. Who's behind the AI? Who's developing the AI? Who's creating the content? Who's choosing what it's saying? There's obviously someone behind it. And the fact that there's now a border, the fact that we can't root to exactly who it is behind it, if they don't want to disclose it, they don't have to. The fact that that is going to exist is what makes it dangerous, because it can, obviously people can manipulate that and take advantage, especially when they get a large audience. And we know that. But it's just interesting to think about here. This is where they speak about it. Experts warn that AI-generated content brings risks such as the potential for these characters to be weaponized for spreading misinformation. And we've already seen things like that. It's a little bit synonymous with like deep fakes, for example. You know, things that didn't happen but are getting created by AI to create the illusion that it did happen. And people just receiving information in general. Characters could be a creative new entertainment format. There is a risk they might flood platforms with low quality material that undermines creators' craft as well as erode confidence among users. Unlike human creators, these AI personas don't have lived experiences, emotions, or the same capacity for relatability. It's a lot of food for thought. Like I said, I understand it from the point of view that we are going to start getting AI influences as an entertainment channel. And it is interesting to see how Meta is welcoming it, is actively pushing it. I don't think the essence of Instagram and Facebook is going to change. What I think is going to change, it's less of a change. I think it's more of an addition. I think it's more like, okay, now we're in this world with these AI generators. And what this is saying at the end is the fact that they don't have the same capacity of relatability. And that's why competing against them is going to be so interesting, so difficult. And it's going to cause a lot of mess in the social media space. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.